Hello guys, hello. Today we're doing our wrap up, as you can see by the title of this video. So,
Why?
I think I read, I'm not gonna say I think, let me count. Lily, go ahead.
I've read 7 books this month, or 6 plus a DNF.
Technically, I read like 9 books, but I've DNF'd 3. So, we'll talk about that. So, Lily, you can go first.
The first book I read was Never Lie by Freida McFadden. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. We read it for our Booktubers Choose Our Reads. I really liked this book. It was a very good thriller, very entertaining. I was on my toes the whole time. But it's about this girl, what's her name? It's about Trisha and Ethan, and they're a new married couple, and they're going to this real estate showing that their realtor was showing them. And they're going and they're like, ooh, you know? And it's during a blizzard, and they're driving. They get there and they're like, well, we can't go back now. It's too cold. Whatever. So they stay in that house for like a whole week. It was insane. But that whole book, highly recommend. It's a popcorn thriller or whatever. So you're just, each chapter you're getting left on cliffhangers at the very end. It's so good. So would highly recommend. Thank you, Alex, again.
The first book I read this month was Not the Witch You Want, which was also part of our reading wrap up. Or no, our reading for Booktubers, Angelisa's pick. I gave this 3 stars. And this book,
if you want to know full thoughts on everything, that's in that video, but just give it what it's about.
Okay, so there's a witch and a wolf.
It's like Bride.
It's a lot like Bride, where they're having to undergo a relationship together due to like a set of laws placed on both of them for different reasons. And that's kind of it. It just navigates the politics system of this world, and it's more of like a comedy, like almost satire of this type of genre. And I would put it in more of a cozy fantasy than like it's not very strict fantasy, you know, cozy as in like nothing, no high stakes or anything, okay? It's just something like that. And this reads more like a contemporary romance than anything. Yeah, so 3 stars. It was pretty good. What would you give it? Because you also read it.
3.
3? Okay, yeah. So there you go.
My next trade was When You Were Everything by
Also married.
Ashley Woodfolk. I rated this a 4 star. I didn't like, our full thoughts are still in that video, but I will say it was very like a good reflection on your time in school and just stuff like that. But it's about this girl, what's her name? Cleo. And her friendship with Layla, and just how they fell out of their friendship and just all the drama that happens. It's
just more of like a coming of age of having to learn lessons and stuff.
Yeah, it was good. It was not bad by any means.
It's dual timeline too, so yeah, you like that.
It's like when they were friends and when and now. It's back and
what
forth.
went wrong? Who's in the wrong?
So I did like it.
Yeah. So 3 stars for me, 4 stars for you. Okay. My next book was Heartstopper Volume 2. I gave this 4 stars. I would say 4.5. I liked this one so much more than Heartstopper 1. I felt like more was happening. It was more cute. I'm starting to forget what happened specifically in this one. But yeah, it was just after they kissed.
It's like part 2 of season 1.
I think it was just more him, what's his name? Nick. Dealing more with him trying to be openly bisexual to people. Or understanding what bisexuality is. So I really liked that aspect of it, and like the nerves and stuff that he went through. Yeah, so I really liked that aspect of it. I liked that it showed like the struggles you can have when you're trying to come out, and being around people that are already out, that might make you, like the pressure of like, just do it, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal to you, so I liked that aspect of it. It was really cute.
Very healing.
I want to read the next one. So that was my next book.
My next book was The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I gave it 2 stars. I just did not like it that much.
No, I gave it 2.5. Okay.
I shouldn't love the romance. We were buddy reading it for that video, and I just didn't love it. It wasn't anything spectacular.
Right.
And we had read it, or she had read the whole thing of Fate, Inked in Blood, and telling me how good it was. I really wanted to finish it because we got what,
like 20%
20% in, and I would go back. But this one, whatever. But it's about,
it's very politics heavy.
What's her name? It's about Laura. She's basically married off to go live with Aaron on his island, and it's a crazy island. Like there's snakes and all these animals it's like a jungle.
And they are the ownerships of the bridge.
So having that alliance with her means that like they can move on.
There's peace. Yeah. But from her side, she's trying to infiltrate their system, break it down from within, get her people to conquer the bridge and stuff and have power again.
So,
now, it's just very politics heavy. It's just a very slow, boring read.
It felt like everything she was doing each day. I was like, okay, let's move on.
It picks up more towards the end, but not enough to make me want to read the series. But people do say continue on, the stuff gets so much better. If I'm basing it on this first book, not really interested. The next book I read was Luna and the Lie by Mariana Zapata. I DNF'd this book around 20%, and I want to say it's more because the guy in the book is so mean to her from the get-go. And I love Mariana Zapata books because the guys are grumpy. And I don't love grumpy books, but she just does them well. They're not grumpy in a mean way. They're just grumpy in like a, I don't really want to talk. I'm a very introverted, yeah, I'm like a hard worker, you know. You might see me around, but like I'm not super interested in you, which is fine. I don't love insta-love, so this is perfect. But in this instance, they're around each other a lot, and he seems to owe her a favor for something. And I wasn't understanding the reason why him. He's so mean. You could take any man to this funeral you need to go to. But he was just so, oh my god, so mean. I had to DNF. I just can't. It's triggering for me. I don't do mean, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's just a no. Her other books are great. This one in particular and one other that I read by her. So yeah, 1 star for that.
My next book was Happy Place by Emily Henry. Emma wanted me to get out of a sad slump, a life slump, if you will, because we are moving. And Emma wanted me to read something that had like the same vibes and
life change vibes,
lessons to do with that. And I was like, okay. So I started reading it and I gave it 4 stars. I've gotten a lot of 4 stars this month, but I really, really like this book. It's about Harriet and Wynne.
They are broken up.
Yes, they were together for 8 years. They have this one last trip that they're going to hang out in Maine with their college best friends. And they're supposed to stay there for the whole week. But they're broken up and they have not told their friends. And they didn't want to ruin it by making it awkward on the trip. And so they're sleeping in the same room, 1 bedroom.
I would say with this book, people hate miscommunication tropes, and that might be a reason why you would hate this book. But for me, I think this would be a miscommunication trope done right, in my opinion. It doesn't annoy me at all. By the end, I'm like, okay, right?
Yeah.
Other people are like, DNF, I can't, there's so much miscommunication going on, which I can understand. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But for me...
But their love was good enough for me to keep going.
So good.
So I really, really liked this one. I'm very happy I got to it.
Me too.
And I annotated it, so Emma wants to annotate it.
Yeah, so we're going to go back and forth. Okay, my next book for the month was Archer's Voice. Hated this book. This might be my most hated book of the whole year, honestly. Read it fully. Didn't DNF. I should have DNF because I hated it that much. Okay, her name's Bree. And she moves to a town in Maine, I'm pretty sure.
This has a 4.2. I'm sorry.
I don't understand the hype about this book. She moves to Maine. And basically, she needs a job. She gets a job. She needs friends. She gets friends. She needs just a life there. And it is all handed to her. You need a house. There you go. The first boy she meets in town happens to be Archer. Runs into him. She's instantly infatuated with him. Asks everyone around. Finds out he's kind of the town loner. He is deaf. Or not deaf. He just doesn't speak. I'm sorry.
He can't speak.
He can't
Archer's
speak.
Voice.
They have to talk in sign language. She happens to know sign language. That's the premise of the whole romance book, is her falling for this guy, and she's like the only one that gets him, understands him, because she can speak to him. She can communicate where nobody else can. Such a dumb premise. I don't understand the hype. The dialogue in this book was the most cringy dialogue I've ever read in my life, and everything was calculated. 1 star. It's not for me. It's like for a teenager that is just not getting into reading, because nothing,
like a 15-year-old.
Nothing about this, you don't have to use any brain power. Like, it's all given to you on a plate. This happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens.
And then compare it to like a video game where you click the answer. Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you see it coming from, it's so scripted, and I hate it. Nothing about it felt natural. So yeah, 1 star.
But if you want to see us reading all those books, it is in the booktuber video.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next book?
My next book is Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. I read it and I loved it. I gave it 4 star. I really, really, really liked the relationship. It was such a fun vibe.
She was fat.
We put it in our last video.
Go watch that.
What's it called?
Just like a reading vlog. It was just like a finishing up our TBR.
Oh yeah, finishing up our TBR for March. But I loved it. Lo and Misery, they were such a vibe. Even if it was like a lot of world building and everything, I just still really, really liked it. It was so fun to read.
I know.
I loved it. I loved it. But Misery, once again, I'm reading a lot of books like this. Misery is a vampire and she's lived among humans for like basically 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Around 10 years. Her dad's like, hey girl, like I want you to go to the werewolves to have an alliance with them. But she was collateral, so they traded like vampires and humans, they traded each one. So Misery was collateral and whoever else was collateral. So if they thought, you know, like if something's gonna, like they can kill her and they can kill the person that they sent to the vampires. So she lives among the humans. So then she goes, how did she talk to her dad at the beginning? And he's like, I want you to go marry a werewolf.
I don't know. He knows
And it was
something about, yeah, somebody in the werewolf side knows something about her best friend that is missing. She decides, yes, I will do this for the vampires, even though
she wants to get down to the T. She wants to find her best friend.
She wants to find her best friend, who she believes is with the vampires or the werewolf side.
Like a lot of sentings going on, a lot of fated mates, a lot of all that. So I was very excited and I loved it. Not 5 star.
Oh, you almost gave it 5 stars.
4 star. I give it like a 4.5. It was very good.
She loved it.
Mm-hmm.
My next book was A Fate Inked in Blood. This book is so good. This borderline gives...
I forgot you read that this month.
Yeah. I know. So A Fate Inked in Blood to me gave me borderline, Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, just like my fave kind of romantasy vibes. This book is heavy on Norse mythology, things like that. I really, really, really loved it. I found our main character to be my main gripe. She was doing things a lot of the times and saying things that I'm like, girl, quit saying this stuff.
You have to go.
Yeah, like, no, just stop. But I love Bjorn. Oh my gosh, I love Bjorn. Their banter in this book was just, it was so good. The tension between the two of them, I loved it. 4.5 stars. It was so good. Something about it's not a 5 star. I think towards the end it kind of went a little, but I still loved it nonetheless. So, it was borderline 5 stars. A Fate Inked in Blood is about a girl who all her life has wanted to be a shield maiden because, or not a shield maiden, what am I trying to say? She's been wanting to be a warrior, right? She's married to this awful man who does horrible things. And when you get powers from gods in this book, you get some kind of magic ability. And she's married to a man that has this. She hates him so much. This clan leader comes and finds her and wants to take her in because he found out that she has some kind of magical blood in her. She proves her worth as a shield maiden. Now she's having to be married off to this new man who has a son with powers, beautiful man, Bjorn, who she undergoes like this whole journey with. He's like almost her bodyguard the whole time, and there's a little romance throughout this book. More tension than romance, but so good. So good. And it's forbidden love, and of course just her being a powerful person and learning how to use her abilities. It's just so good. If you're going to compare it to anything, I would say like ACOTAR vibes.
My next book was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm going to be real. I read this for our video for finishing the TBR. It's another for me vibes. I don't know how many people have rated it 5 star. Or I don't know why so many. I just didn't see the appeal to me. I was like, dang, I'm in the minority for this one. And I hate being that minority because I don't want to read to trash on things or just not like things.
I know.
But this I really just didn't understand. I didn't get the romance. I didn't buy it. And I was just annoyed that she didn't want to go through, like, pick a lane. She didn't pick a lane for the character or the romance or her aunt. Like, whatever. But I will tell you what it's about. But I rated it 2 star. I just did not like it. It's about Clementine. She moves into her aunt's apartment because she's dead. That's not me spoiling it. She lives in her apartment, and when her aunt was alive, she was like, yeah, this place is magical. I love it. It's magical. And then she finds out, yeah, it is magical because she can go through a 7-year slip where she can go 7 years in the past. And she meets this guy 7 years in the past, and his name, Iwan. So they had this whole, it was very insta love, like within 20%, they were already kissing, and I was like, not for me vibes. I hate insta love. She can go 7 years in the past, but she meets him, and then she goes back in the present, and she meets him 7 years later, and how much he's changed, and just everything. I just didn't love it. It was not for me. But I see why so many people do like it because it handles a lot of topics of grief. Look up, okay, we can click that out. Just look up the trigger warnings if you do want to read it. Because they are heavy. Your next book?
My next book is Shatter Me. Lily has wanted me to read this book. Apparently not anymore, but for a long time she told me to read this. And let me tell you, I was okay with it for probably the first 50%. I was like, okay, this book it's so surface level in a way. Like there's really not a lot of plot, in my opinion. And I found our main girl to be so obnoxious. And I found our main guy to be meh.
I told you that.
And Aaron Warner is like, or just Warner in this book, I'm sorry. Warner is so possessive and like needing her. It just came off meh. I gave it, what did I give it? 2 stars. I didn't like it at all by the end. It was so dumb. I think I predicted the ending in like about a second. It just, okay. So not my favorite, and I think Okay, so here's what the book's about. We have a girl, Juliet, who is in a psych ward or something because she cannot touch people, because if she does, she kills them. That's basically the premise of the book, and powerful people want her to be used as a weapon. That's the whole vibe of Shatter Me. There is a love triangle, and of course things happen in this book that are like in every kind of romance dystopian.
Every dystopian 2014.
Oh my gosh, it's giving you so 2014. But yeah.
But it was a time. My next book was The Fine Print. I DNF'd this hoe because after our video, I was like, I'm gonna try it out because then I can read terms and conditions because I really wanted to read A Marriage of Convenience. So The Fine Print has Rowan and Zara. They kiss in the first 20%.
18%.
I was like, Emma!
We were listening to this on audiobook.
I was like, no, I'm done. I can't. I don't like insta-love, and you guys aren't good. I don't even like you guys as people. But Emma read Love Your Design, so I think I'll read that of hers. Clearly she switched up the men and the characters, because I'm not for this stuff. Maybe I'll read Declan and Iris's one. I started it, but I started reading Book Lovers because, I wanted to finish a book. But anyway, no, I DNF'd. I'm done. I bought that book years ago. Or not years, because it's not been that long, but I bought it a few years back. I can't. I'm done. I don't want to read that. Why are you kissing it for 18%? Make him like, ooh, he's like my boss. Oh my god, what the heck? He like, do the wandering eye, the stare, the drama. Maybe he helps her at work. Why are we doing, he was pressing it. I don't want it. I'm sorry. That's right. If you're gonna do insta-love, do it right. But Emma really liked Love Your Design, so I will tell you what it's about. It's about, in this Dreamland Billionaire series, their grandfather has died, and what do you do? Like write out things for all his grandsons. He has 3.
For a will.
So there's 3, There's 3 sons, and in his will, he wants him to take over the creative side of Dreamland. And then the next book is him needing to have a kid, married and a kid, so that he can take over CEO of something for Declan, and then I don't know what final offer is about. But he starts working there, like seeing what it's like, gathering intel. Zara, she wanted to be part of the creative team because she's really good at that. That's all it's giving in the description. I can't make this stuff up.
It's just a romance.
It's just a romance between them, and I'm guessing it's workplace. But I DNF'd at 22%. I'm sorry. I don't want that. I don't want insta-love. I hate insta-love, and I've read too much of that lately. Maybe I'll go back to, let's not lie.
Right.
I'm sorry, Lauren Asher. I really think I'll like Love Your Design.
You will.
Because we have that packed away, and I will read it.
My next book was Under Lock by Marina Zapata, and I DNF'd it at 20-something%. He, once again, common theme, mean person as the main person. He's grumpy, but he calls her a... He basically tells her she just needs to get over herself, needs to not worry about...
Suck this.
He's like,
what the hell?
And he's her boss. I think they work at a tattoo shop, and she's the front desk person, and he is like, I don't have time to explain stuff to this. Why is everybody...
He said that?
Yeah, he's like, people are so fucking stupid. How do I... Yeah, like,
Watch this face in your... Never.
So if she needs help with anything, she's like having sweats just having to ask him for help, and when she does, he's like, I shouldn't have to baby walk you through everything on her second day. And it's mean stuff like that I just can't get over. And then he'll be nice and like, oh, I'm going to walk you to your car at night.
No.
You're the last person. And then he's calling her stupid for leaving work to go to her own car. And I can't fall in love with something like that in a book. I'm okay with grumpy silent types, but when you start being mean like that in a book,
it's over.
It's
snip,
over.
Snip.
I'm not gonna wish a good redemption on you, because I would never believe it if that's how you were before. And I kind of stopped it when we realized that the main guy is more of a man whore in a way, if you will. He sleeps around a lot, but she is not allowed to even look at a man, kind of thing. So we're not even together, bro.
Neck.
So yeah, DNF on that book. I love her other books, but that one and Luna and the Lie, with the men being that mean, nope. Oh, and he started with the pet name, like Princess or something, like right away. No. Just no. So yeah, DNF, sorry girly, that wasn't for me. The premise of the book, apparently, if you want to read that, the main girl needs a job. She gets a job at the tattoo parlor. Her brother like got her the job with this guy, and she complains to her brother like, why would you make me work here? This guy's horrible. He's like, I knew you could handle it.
If you do that to me, I literally...
I knew you could handle it.
I would literally, what's it called when you just disown you?
I knew you could handle being berated and put down. Whatever. Yeah, no, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. The premise, by the way, she gets a job there. He's the boss of the place. That's all I really know. The next book I read was All Roads Lead Here by Marina Zapata. I really liked this book. I would give it 3.5 stars. I didn't like the ending conflict in this, so that was like my main problem with it. It's not her worst, not her best, but it's pretty good. The premise here is our main girl, I'm forgetting her name right now, but our main girl, she moves back to Colorado where she's from, and her mom has been missing from this area for so many years, like probably 20 years or something, and she rents a room at this place, and the guy that owns the house is upset she's there because his son rented out the space, but he allows her to stay, and it's just kind of her self-discovery, a lot of hiking, like worrying about, like her mom went missing on a hike all these years ago, so she's determined to just like get out there and be like more like her mom and just see things from a different point of view. And then of course Rhodes owns the place, and he's just a nice guy and helps her through her time, and of course it's a romance, so I really liked it for that. That's really all I have to say. The last book I read this month was called Funny Feelings, and this book was meh. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. It's about a girl who's a comedian and a guy who's like her manager or something or other. They end up having to fake date so that she can get this special with this other comedian groups. And yeah, like they basically just fake date, but they fake date for 1 second and then it's like real. That's why I gave this 2 stars. There's no like pining, faking, you know what I mean? Like the real tension that comes with fake dating. They basically were always alone, always in private, always dating with each other. Nothing like having to be in front of others and like put on a show, which is what I like in fake dating. So yeah, I think that's all of our books for the month. Wow. Yeah, it was like a fun month of reading. Not the best month, not the worst month. I did read pretty good books, but also some really bad books.
Yeah, like I got to read Happy Place and Bride, so.
Exactly. Okay. So thank you so much for watching today's video.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.